Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are just going to hold for like a minute or so just to see if anyone else joins us. But in the meantime, just please know that we are in a Zoom meeting format this time around. If you've joined us for some of the other presentations, we were in a webinar format. In this format, you do have access to mute and unmute yourself, as well as turn on or turn off your camera. Please feel free to do any of the above. We do ask that you stay muted while the presentation is happening. We'll take questions at the end, and then you can unmute yourself and ask a question. If you scroll to the bottom of your screen, we do have a chat feature, so feel free to drop a question in there, or if you want to talk amongst yourselves, just know that as the hosts, we can see everything that's being written. And this is being recorded and will be available on YouTube by the end of the week if you wanted to share this information with others, or if you wanted to rewatch for any information. All right, well, and on that note, if anyone else drops in, I will let them in as they come. But David, I'm gonna pass it off to you.
Okay, well, we have a very intimate group. And since maybe we can start off just a little bit different. Coverworks Rock Band, do you have a name? Would you like to share your name with us?
Jeff Troyer.
Doug?
Jeff Troyer, ART.
Okay. All right, Jeff. Well, it's nice to meet you. My name's David Martinez. And Brenda, we have your name, so it's nice to meet you as well. A little bit about myself. I have been in the printing industry since 1990. Started off as a quick printer. I worked at a company called Busy Bee Printers, then moved into Alpha Graphics for a minute, then to a company, Copy Boy, that was bought by Instaprints, became Allegra, worked for commercial shops. So I've had a variety of background in regard to the different printing that I've been exposed to, and the process of brokering that I'm exposed to as well. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to visit with us this afternoon. Just one of the things that to think about in regard to brokering of printing. So last year, the major broker house in the United States grew 34%. So the industry grew significantly, the brokering side of things. So that shows that there is interest in brokering, and the way that brokering happens is very simple. For an individual to call someone like myself, they say what their specific item is. Well, we find that niche, and then we provide you with a quote. It's kind of like if you like a macaroon. Well, would you just go to your grocery store to get a macaroon, or would you go to a specific shop that caters to macaroons? Well, for myself and other brokers, we know where the niche lies in the different areas that an individual is desirous of gaining. This particular broker last year, it did more business than Sir Speedy, Minuteman Press, Alpha Graphics, Allegra, or Pip Printing. So brokering is in many situations outperforming the brick and mortar stores in regard to sales because of the diversity of the brokerage house. A broker is basically your personal shopper within the printing or graphics industry. The individual can go out and find whether it's apparel, signage, or anything that has your message or your logo on it. Recently, one of my clients built out a building, and their call center was very loud. So they asked for some help, so we put a carpet inside of that building with their company's logo in it, which significantly helped as well. Brokering enables you to save time and money. Why? Because the broker is going to go find the facility that fits your needs. There's a network of wholesale or trade printers, and all they do is deal with either print shops or brokers. And so they expect the print shop or the broker to understand technology, to provide them with print-ready files so that they're not having to guess about things. And because of that, many times print facilities prefer brokers because their package and their files are very clean. So they have that advantage. Many times as well, in the brokering world, there are multiple wholesalers. Some wholesales were catered to a specific entity, a nonprofit sector. They'll cater to auto industry or manufacturing or the like. So although they're a wholesaler, their facility is geared, their product and their knowledge is geared for that particular vertical market. So the broker knows this. Unlike many brick and mortar facilities, they have specific equipment. And that specific equipment, well, it costs to be on their floor. So what do? Sometimes they'll try to alter artwork, or they'll change the spec just a little bit to conform to their environment. And maybe that's not always the best interest of the client or the end user. So a print broker has the ability to find what's trending and who has the right abilities to make those things happen. You may say to yourself, I don't want to use a broker. I don't like the idea of using a broker. It's very foreign to me. But let me ask you this question. Have you ever stepped into Costco or Sam's Club? What about Amazon? Every single one of those are brokers. The difference between them and the print broker is you have to pay to play. You have to pay a fee to be a member of Costco or Sam's Club, or if you want better delivery, you have to pay for Prime. With a broker, you just give them the spec and they find you the best rate. Much like a mortgage broker or a real estate broker. You tell a real estate broker what you're looking for and they find you options. And the mortgage broker, well, she will find you the best rate because they have buying power and they have a relationship with those particular bankers or those particular property managers. So it enables you to use their advantage. Printing facilities are unique to themselves. So according to Printing News, 15% of all work produced at print shops are brokered, which simply means that they take an order and they send it somewhere else to be produced. However, within the print shop itself, they may say be doing foil stamping for the client, but they don't have the ability to. So most print shops print portions of printing, send out a segment to a wholesale bindery or to a wholesaler to complete that section, and then they bring it back, package it, put it in their box and send it. So the advantage of a broker is the broker will find the facility that goes from paper, ink, foil, emboss, die cut to package. So you're not having to pay that middle transaction from a print shop or from the brick and mortar facility. There are very few printing facilities that do it all. Very few. In Tucson, for example, I recently was asked to provide a client with 1,000 set of tabs that are collated and have Mylar on them. Yes, there are numerous shops that could die cut and could print, but no shop in Tucson can apply the Mylar themselves. So the shop that was chosen to produce it was in San Diego that has the niche of index tabs and things of that nature. This enables a broker to be competitive in their pricing because we are employed by you, not the print shop. Therefore, it is in our best interest to find the best facility, the best quality, the best turnaround, and the best pricing structure for you or your client, depending on whether you're a graphic designer or a marketing agency or whatever that may be. So they talked just briefly about printing paper. But what about cups, pins, shirts, things of that nature? This promotional product industry is primarily broker, dealer, or distributor based. very few individuals sell direct from the production facility to the consumer. So if in fact you have bought a cup or apparel or something of that nature, a pin, a mouse pad, you more than likely used a broker. You may be unaware of it, but it's more than likely the case because that particular industry is catered to large brokers or facilities that only deal with a middleman, a dealer or distributor. Technology is one of the major reasons why you and I benefit from using a broker. How so? Well, a print shop or a production facility may buy new technology and they have to pay for that technology. They will inform brokers or individuals who can then go sell that product, what it is, what it can do, and how it can benefit the end user. So a broker only has the interest of what this can do for you or for your client. So if it fits a need that your client is mentioning, then they can put it on that floor. If not, then they won't. Sometimes new technology doesn't fit the need of a client. It may be beautiful and nice to look at, but it simply may not be the right time for them. The top 10 national print brokers, distributors sold over $1.6 billion last year during COVID. This shows that there is an active need for their services. The top 50 wholesale printers sold $3.8 billion to brokers or trade-only clients. Why is that to an advantage? It shows that this segment of the industry is growing, and it shows that individuals are using brokers more and more, but perhaps they're unaware of it. So then, what advantage do you see that a broker could have for you? I'd like to simply show you a video. This video, 3 of my vendors have a program which is called Direct Mail 2.0. Direct Mail 2.0 provides intelligent mailing software for those who are mailing. What does this mean? What will it do for you or for others? Let's briefly watch this video. Then I'll show you something from the USPS, and we can open up for discussion or questions if you have any. First, the video.
Having trouble tracking the return on investment from your offline marketing? Not sure how effective your direct mail and print advertising really is? Direct mail works. The problem is it's difficult to track. Our new technology makes it work even better. Here's how it works. We take the direct mail and ensure that same message is seen several times through multiple channels to your specific target audience. First, we match your mailing addresses to social media accounts like Facebook and Instagram. We show those people ads before, during, and after the mail hits to sear that message into their mind. Next, we track your mail, predict, and confirm delivery right down to the individual piece, just like a package. Ever hear of the USPS's program, Informed Delivery? Your mail recipients will get an email from the USPS that the mail piece is arriving in their mailbox today, along with a full-color ad they can use to take advantage of your offer with a simple click. Now it's time to track the response. If the recipients call, we will report and record the call along with all the caller information, including name, address, and demographics about the caller. If they go to the website, we are going to follow them around with ads on both social media as well as other websites they visit. The multiple impressions of the same message on these channels serves as a reminder that they were interested and drives them back to the website to become a customer. It doesn't stop there. We can tell you who from your mailing actually visited your site regardless of what actions they took. No more wondering if the mail piece actually worked. So there you have it. Track, enhance, and effectively attribute results of your direct mail campaign with this cutting-edge technology. Direct mail works. We can prove it.
So this technology from my partner in Phoenix Pixapost is also available from a partner I have in Nashville, another one in Louisville, because it's a program. The advantage of using a broker is the program costs the print shop significant money, but for incremental business, then for you and I, it wouldn't cost near as much to implement that particular program. So they mentioned a service that the US Postal Service has, informed delivery. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with it, but just briefly, I'll show you what informed delivery does. So here is my, there we go, that's the wrong one. One second. Technology is messing with me. There we go. So this is the email that you would receive. It shows you what's coming in your mailbox. So the US Postal Service uses their own service. And so this is an intelligent mailer. The one underneath is not. However, when you click on this section of an intelligent mailer, it takes you immediately to the message that an individual is trying to convey. Why is that important? Well, it's done a couple things for you before it's even ever reached the mailbox. One, they got an email, so they saw the message there. Two, they clicked on it, and now since they've clicked on it, it's engaged social media. So this is one the post office is using for themselves. But then, of course, credit card companies, they use them as well, trying to get us to sign up for their credit card. And now as this goes through, it monitors and it tracks where we've been. But we can do the same thing, and it's been highly beneficial for individuals that are doing a social activity, especially nonprofits. When they mail, the individual is going to get that USPS informed delivery mail as well, email. They can click and interact, and it follows through. According to the United States Postal Service, at this point, only 37% of the US population is signed up for informed delivery, but I think it's because they're not informed about informed delivery. So it is a service. If you're interested to sign up, it's free. Just go to usps.com, informed delivery, and you can sign up. One of the advantages, if you're out and about on vacation or something of that nature, it does tell you what's in your mailbox. So if you have something that might be confidential or you want someone to check your mail, you'll know that it's there. So just briefly, brokering happens in almost every print shop. I can't carte blanche say everyone, because someone might say my printer doesn't broker, and it's more than likely that they just don't take that job. If they would have taken it, they would have brokered it. So I've worked in copy shops, quick printers, commercial, quick commercial, and I've never been in a facility that hasn't brokered something. Have you ever wondered, how can somebody give me 1,000 business cards, full color on both sides, for $25? Because the wholesaler prints 96 cards at one time through a press that prints both sides at the same time, and then automatically comes out and pre-positions for cutting. Brokers know which facilities are automated to suit the needs of their client. Other facilities only print pocket folders, only print labels or letterhead. Some still engrave. Many individuals like that quality, and there are engravers still out there that are producing that product. So then we said that we were going to answer a few questions. What is brokering? Brokering is finding the right facility for your needs and having them produce that for you at a competitive price with the highest possible quality to be provided for you. What is the advantage? There's no cost to you, and you have a personal shopper who's incentivized to find you the best product at a competitive rate so that they can provide you with that service. and continue to grow your business together. All print shops in some way or another broker, so it's nothing foreign to them. And many facilities appreciate and cater to broker because the broker has knowledge that they can use to give them the proper specs and the proper files. It's kind of like you're the coach. You call the play, but the broker puts into play the proper niche facility for your need. So that's what I had prepared. It's not a major rocket science, I guess, for print brokering. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Okay.
If anyone has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself. You do have that option this time around.
Okay. I'd like to, just before we go, to show you a product that I found very interesting back in that call center that I was talking about for the plumber. They wanted the noise to be reduced and the carpet assisted them, but because of being apprised of new product within the network of brokering, there's soundboard that can be printed. A soundboard is something similar to this. It's plastic bottles that have been spun much like cotton candy and compressed to absorb sound. But the soundboard can be printed on for environments, much like what we see here. It is porous, but yet the print heads that are used put ink down to give a good layer, and then it's printed. This soundboard is 1/4 of an inch thick. Other soundboard is 1 inch thick. And what's the advantage? The soundboard can be cut to any shape or any size, so it can complement an environment. It can be full color. The board itself comes with 12 different colors, so it can eliminate much of the background noise within call centers or lobbies or things of that nature. But it also comes a little bit thinner, like a fabric that can be put on a wall, like wallpaper. And this absorbs sound. So an advantage at times is if you contact a broker and you say, I have an issue, they're going to engage their network to find a solution for you, much like we did here with the soundboard. It may not sound like something your printer is going to typically do, but each one of these items is printed. So I thought I would share that with you.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for David? Again, feel free to unmute yourself if you do. Okay. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us. Again, this is being recorded, so it will be available on the Raise the Bar YouTube page by the end of the week. This Upping Your Game series is sponsored by Raise the Bar Consulting, where we specialize in comprehensive fundraising, organizational alignment, transitional leadership, and executive solutions. We do have a few more workshops in this series. Our next one will be Thursday, August 26th, again at 2 p.m. Pacific time and 5 p.m. Eastern. And that is the current state of donor retention and what you can do about it with Stephen Shattuck, Chief Engagement Officer from Bloomerang. So I hope you'll join us for that. And again, does anyone have any questions for David? Kathleen, yes. You're on mute, Kathleen.
I have a question. I understand sort of the benefit of tracking from a business perspective when you're doing direct mail. I'm just wondering about privacy restrictions about this information. You know, I'm like looking at this saying, if I sign up for informed consent or whatever that is with the post office, does that mean that they are going to be allowing other businesses to use that data? are they selling my data? I mean, or is that like some kind of blanket access to my information? I don't mind knowing what's in my mailbox, but does
Right.
that mean that how many other people get to know that? You
As
know,
a- as a-
I
yeah.
don't, you know, and I don't
Excellent
know.
question. No, we do not have access to their data. So if I have 5,000 pieces on my end, I have to package all 5,000 as if you are an informed delivery participant. And only those on the back end for the United States Postal Service that are, do they open that up. But who you are, I don't know. The only time I do know who you are is if you click on my link. Then of course you've engaged me so I can track you and follow you. But there is no sending the list to an NCOA or something of that nature to certify it and say, all I want are people who are signed up for informed delivery. That does not exist because of privacy issues. So I wouldn't know who you are until you click on me.
Okay, so then, well, and that's an interesting point, because then once somebody has actually actively clicked, that's a higher level of engagement than just passively receiving
Right.
something, right?
Right.
So,
And I think the nice thing too, when you think about informed delivery, they signed up because they want to know what's in their box. So they're already looking to see what's there. And in and amongst other things like, you know, hey, my check is coming from this, or my bill for the water is in the box now. Those are things they're looking for. Your message is sitting there in total. And they've seen it, maybe not consciously, but they've seen it. Then when they go to the mailbox, they're kind of anticipating getting your item. And I monitor this because it's what I do. And about 90% of the time, it's that same day. Sometimes it seems like the carrier, he's normally here at my house around 4:45. So if it's late for him, I may not get mail that day. And so I won't get it till the next day, but there's no way the program knows that. So, you know, if you're getting your mail typically before 3:30 or so during the day, it's going to be in that box that day. And then from there, it's being Instagram or Facebook. They're having those ads follow them.
okay, well, that's really interesting. It's an interesting way to think of integrating, you know, direct mail in a campaign that would have it be effective.
Right. And it comes back and you have a dashboard, so you see what's happening on it.
Right.
So you see real time. One of the things picks up post in Tempe, Ted Raymond there, he has a few nonprofits that he does quite a bit of, you know, appeals and things of that nature with. And one of his nonprofits list is only 185 people. But this service has to have 250. So they actually mail the other 65 to their own office just so that they can get it, you know, out there. But it proves trackable. In one of the situations that he was in, they called and said, hey, none of this mail worked. Nothing happened. And so he's like, I have the dashboard. I show you everything. And then what they did is they looked at the number they had provided. They had provided the lunchroom number. So all of the phone calls were going into an empty box.
Right.
So it proved now on our end, the reporting showed we had 380 phone calls to that number. And we had their phone number. So now we could give it back and say, you know what? You need to call 385 people because they called your lunchroom.
Yeah.
So it actually, this service saved that process because it's accountable. Now that's a feature you turn on, you know, if you want the phone call tracking, that's additional, but the Facebook and Instagram and the push, that's part of the typical package.
Okay. And then you found that direct mail adds a considerable amount of, brings in more money than just doing all the other things together.
It is a valuable piece of the process. And especially right now, maybe things are tapering off, but during COVID, people would much rather not have a face-to-face or walk in a building. And having that thing that they can touch from your organization is very valuable to them and to yourself, because it's a connection they don't normally have. So this program also shows you the percentage of open.
Oh, good.
So that helps you to see, well, wait a minute, I thought I was only getting this percentage of interaction, but I'm not.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, instead of estimating. Oh, that's great. Thank you very much. I appreciate this.
Sure. And on those two, on that mailer, you can have a specific QR code to the mailer that also continues to track specific website hits versus generic website hits that they would have landed anyway through a Google search.
Of course, as soon as I unmute myself, the dogs bark. All right, well, thank you everyone again. If no one else has any other questions for David, thank you for joining us. I hope you'll come back again on the 26th for our next presentation, and have a great rest of your afternoon.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.